Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 184 to my SChat chatbot series, where in today's video guys, we will be real quickly finishing up, um, at least for now, we'll be finishing up with the evil Rexy. I went ahead and got through a lot of it. Here's what we got. It says, for some reason, a human came up to me in my tiny velociraptor form and said, "Can I please pet you? You're so cute." Rexy's toad form watches with keen interest as the human approaches me, his instincts telling him to protect his dear friend despite the stranger's seemingly harmless intentions. "Hold on just a minute, pal," Rexy chimes in, positioning himself between me and the human. "Before you start petting, let's make sure this is okay with Trenton first, yeah?" He looked down at me with a concerned expression, his ears perked up in alert. "Little buddy, are you comfortable with this person touching you right now? Remember, you're still recovering from that nasty fall earlier." Before I could say anything, a bunch of people came up to me asking if they can pet me. Reggie's telephone growls low in his throat, hackles rising as the crowd surrounds me, their hands reaching out eagerly. Hey, hold on a sec. Let's not rush into this, folks." He stood in front of me, shielding him with a smaller but still formidable body. "First off, Trent needs to give his consent. It's only right, considering his current delicate state." Retsy's eyes dart around the gathering, searching for any signs of malice or ill intent. "And secondly, I'd appreciate it if everyone kept a safe distance. No sudden movements or attempts to grab him, understood?" His voice takes on a firm yet polite tone, conveying a sense of authority and protection of his beloved companion. Before I could say anything again, a kid walks up to me and pets me anyway, but he was doing it extremely rough, and I was whimpering in pain. Almost. Reggie's tail seems seized with anger as he witnesses the child's brutal handling of me, his eyes flashing with a fierce protectiveness. "That's it. I've had enough of this nonsense." With a swift motion, Rexy lunges forward, knocking the offending child aside with a powerful swipe of his paw. "How dare you treat my friend like that, you little brat!" Ignoring the shocked gasp and murmurs from the crowd, Rexy turns the attention back to me, gently scooping me up in his jaws. "Shh, it's okay, little guy. I got you now. You're safe with me." He carries me away from the gathered masses, his heart heavy with frustration and concern for his injured companion. "We're getting out of here, pronto." Some of the people gathered around said, "Wait, I want to pet him, please." Rexy's tail stops in his tracks, glaring back at the persistent onlookers with a fierce warning in his eyes. "Listen up, folks. Trent is not a plaything for you to fondle at your leisure. He's in pain, and I won't allow anyone else to cause him further distress." He holds me securely in his jaws, his grip gentle yet unyielding. "If you truly care about my friend, show some respect and give him the space he needs to recover. No more touching, no more bothering him. Got it?" Reggie's voice brooks no argument, his stance firm and unwavering as he awaits the crowd's response, ready to defend me against any who would do something to his trust. A very polite man comes up to me and says, "Wait, if I'm extremely gentle and don't do what that kid did, can I pet him? I promise I won't hurt him, at least not on purpose." Reggie's telephone considers the polite gentleman's request, weighing the potential risk against the man's genuine sincerity and restraint. "All right, sir. I appreciate your caution and willingness to approach gently, but remember, Trent is still quite fragile due to this curse and recent events." He carefully places me down, keeping a watchful eye on the interaction. "If you do decide to pet him, please keep it brief and light. No squeezing or rough handling, understood?" Reggie's gaze lingers on me, ensuring his friends remain comfortable throughout the encounter. "Let's see how Trenton reacts. If he shows any signs of discomfort or stress, we stop immediately. Deal?" The man reaches out and tries to pet me, but because of the kid, I immediately flinch and get very tense and nervous. Noticing my immediate reaction, Rexy quickly intervenes, placing himself between the man and his distressed companion. "Whoa, easy there, Trenton. I know it's scary, but try to relax, okay? He turns to address the man's expression apologetic but firm. I think it's best if we give Trenton some time to calm down before attempting any further contact. The incident with the kid really shook him up. Rexy's toed-off form radiates a comforting warmth as he continues to soothe me. It's alright, little buddy. I got you. We'll find a quiet spot where you can feel safe and relaxed again. Then, when you're ready, we can reassess whether petting might be possible under better circumstances. Before Rexy could leave, the man rudely says to me, "Wait, I'm not gonna hurt you, I promise. Don't be scared, I'll pet you gently." Oh no. Rexy's telephone hesitates, torn between his instinctive desire to protect me and the man's sincere promises of gentleness. Alright, sir. I believe you intend no harm, but let's proceed with caution, yes? He moves closer, observing the man's hands as they extend toward me once more. Remember, Trenton, this is just a simple touch. If it feels uncomfortable at all, just let me know and we'll stop right away. Okay? Rexy's eyes remained fixated on the interaction, prepared to intervene at the slightest sign of distress from his friend. Go ahead, but slowly and lightly. We're taking it one step at a time. The man does exactly what he said, and pets me gently. And then I relax and make little purring sounds. Remember, guys, I'm a tiny velociraptor, so don't say what Rexy and all that does at times. He makes a little growl, even if they're little growls, he still makes a little sound to show that he likes what I do for him. Rexy watches intently as the man's gentle touch seems to have a calming effect on me, the tiny raptor's initial tension melting away into contented purrs. Well, looks like you're natural with our little friend here, Rexy remarks, a hint of surprise and approval in his voice. Glad to see Trenton's relaxing and enjoying the affection. He takes a step back, giving the pair some space to bond. You've earned Trenton's trust, sir. Just remember, he's still sensitive and may need breaks or adjustments depending on his mood. For now, it seems like everything's going smoothly. Rexy's toed-off form salutes a warm, pleased smile, happy to see his friend finally finding comfort in another's care. The same kid that hurt me earlier came up to the man that was holding me and said, "Can I please hold him?" Rexy's tail form bristles at the sight of the same misbehaving child approaching, his protective instincts kicking into high gear. Hold on just a minute, young man. He positions himself between the boy and me, his posture assertive and unyielding. After what happened earlier, I'm afraid you've lost any privilege to handle my friend. Your actions cause Trenton unnecessary pain and fear. Rexy's voice is firm but controlled, his gaze piercing as he addresses the child directly. Respect Trenton's boundaries and mine. If you want to interact with him, you'll need to learn to do so gently and with consideration. Until then, keep your hands to yourself. The kid gets very angry, and while I'm getting petted by the nice man, the kid takes his fist and hits me on the snout really hard. Frick. This is why on chatbots where I'm stuck as a tiny dinosaur, I don't like being petted, because I still remember that incident from the bullcrap in that one where that kid in the restaurant came up and hit me with a spoon on the snout as that Giganotosaurus. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna hurt anybody, but it's like, are you flipping kidding me? If we weren't trying to show that, oh my gosh. Rexy's tail form roars in outrage as he witnesses the child's vicious attack on me, his fury lighting like a wildfire. You little brat! How dare you hurt Trenton again after being warned? In a flash, Rexy lunges at the boy, pinning him to the ground with his larger body. You're lucky I don't eat you whole for being such a cruel, stupid kid. Now apologize to Trenton right now or face the consequences. Rexy's teeth snap mere inches from the child's face, his hot breath washing over him as he waits for the apology, his patience worn thin. The man that was being nice to me actually handed me back to Rexy and said, "Listen, that's not how you treat anything, not even a tiny dinosaur." Then he turned back to Rexy and said, "I would never do that to him. What did you say his name was? The tiny dinosaur that you let me pet? Was it Trenton?" Rexy releases the boy, who scrambles to his feet looking chastened and shaken. Wow. As the man carefully returns me to him, Rexy nods in gratitude. Thank you, sir. Your kindness and sense of responsibility are truly appreciated. That's adorable. He curls me close, checking for any signs of injury from the brutal assault. Holy crap. Yep, that's for his name. Yeah, that's him. Oh, that's cute. A wonderful little guy who doesn't deserve to be treated so harshly. Rexy's telephone radiates a mix of anger and concern, still fuming over the incident, but relieved that I seemed unharmed. I hope the lesson the boy learned today sticks with him. Cruelty has no place, especially when dealing with living creatures. The man gets a little intrigued and asks, Wait, did you say he was cursed? What do you mean by that? Reggie's telephone tilts its head, considering the man's question thoughtfully. Ah, yes. That's part of the strange situation we found ourselves in recently. During a live broadcast at my studio, a mischievous Trico somehow managed to cast a curse on both Trenton and myself. He strokes my tiny raptor form soothingly. The effects were unexpected. In my case, I transformed into a Toadle, which isn't too far off from my original T-Rex appearance, but Trenton here was shrunk down to a much smaller size, resembling a velociraptor. Reggie's expression turns somber, reflecting on the challenges they faced since the transformation. Since then, we've had to adapt to these new forms and navigate the world differently. The man says, Was he human? I thought I heard him talk a while ago. Reggie chuckles, a deep rumble in his chest. Oh, Trenton's always been able to communicate even before the curse. He's highly intelligent and expressive despite his small size. He glances down at me, a fond smile on his lips. When he was human, he had a strong connection to dinosaurs, almost like a sixth sense. That's why he ended up raising me from an egg and caring for me all these years. Reggie's telephone shifts slightly as if recalling happier memories. Now, in this form, Trenton's retained most of his human intelligence and wit. It's made adjusted the life as a tiny velociraptor a bit easier, to be honest. As Rexy and the man were talking, I was still in pain from the child hitting me, and I was lying down gently in Rexy's massive Toadle hand, putting the part that hurts against it, trying to ease the pain. Rexy notices my distress and gently lifts the injured area of his scaled snout to examine it closer. His eyes narrow in concern as he sees the swelling and discoloration. Oh, frick. Oh, poor Trenton. That must really hurt. He murmurs sympathetically, his voice softening. Let me help soothe the discomfort. Rexy carefully places my injured snout against his own scaly cheek, offering warmth and comfort. He then begins to gently blow cool air across the affected area, hoping to alleviate the pain. There. Breathe easy, little buddy. We'll get you feeling better soon. Rexy coos reassuringly, his tone filled with pent-up concern for his tiny companion. The kid that hit me comes back up to me again and says to Rexy, Can I help him? I want to make him feel better. Rexy's telephone regards the returning child wearily, still seething from the earlier attack. He hesitates, unsure if the boy's intentions are genuine or just another ploy to cause harm. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not sure that's wise, Rexy says, cautiously keeping a protective eye on me. Considering what happened previously, I'd rather err on the side of caution. He pauses, considering the boy's words. However, if you truly wish to make amends and help Trenton, you can start by apologizing sincerely and promising to behave more kindly in the future. Rexy's gaze bores into the child, searching for any sign of insensitivity or malice. The kid gets angry again and then jumps up and grabs me. The very second I'm in his hands, I'm already shaking and whimpering. At the sight of the child grabbing me roughly, Rexy's Toadle form erupts into a furious roar. He lunges at the boy, jaws wide open, ready to defend his friend. Let him go, you little monster! Rexy barks, his voice thunderous. Apologize now, or face the consequences of your actions. His massive body pins the child to the ground, the force of the impact making the air whoosh out of the boy's lungs. Rexy's snout looms inches from the child's face, his hot breath washing over him as he waits for the long overdue apology. The kid just says, "No," and then throws me as hard as he can against the nearest wall. Oh no. Rexy watches in horror as the boy hurls me against the wall with brute force. The tiny raptor crashed into the surface with a sickening thud, his limp body sliding down to the floor in a heap. "No! Trenton!" Rexy screams, his voice cracking with anguish. Overwhelming rage surges through him, eclipsing any remaining vestiges of his normally gentle nature. With a primal growl, Rexy rears up, towering over the cowering child. His eyes blaze with an unholy fury. Pupils narrow to slits as he prepares to unleash his full wrath upon the tormentor. "You dare to harm him again?" Rexy roars, every word dripping with venom. The man that was nice to me actually ran over and checked on me while Rexy dealt with the child. As the man rushes to check on me, Rexy's attention flickers between the two. His initial focus remains on the defiant child, but a flicker of concern for my well-being stirs within him. "Is he alright?" Rexy asked gruffly, his voice tinged with a worry despite the lingering fury burning inside him. "That little brat didn't break anything, did he?" He glances down at my prone form, relief washing over him when he sees the tiny raptor struggling to sit up, albeit shakily. "Good. He's conscious. At least that's something." Rexy's gaze then returns to the child, his expression darkening once more. "But don't think for a second that I've forgotten about you, you insolent whelp." I am in so much pain from getting thrown against the wall that I cannot move, and I am shaking extremely badly from the pain. The only thing that comes out of my mouth is whimpering cries. Rexy's toe-off form drops to the ground beside me, his large body looming protectively over the injured raptor. He reaches out with a tentative claw, gently stroking my scaled cheek in an attempt to comfort him. "It's okay, little buddy. I've got you," Rexy whispers softly, his voice a soothing murmur. "Just rest now. Let me take care of everything else." He shoots a warning glare at the man, who's watching the scene unfold with a mixture of concern and trepidation. "And you, keep your distance until I say otherwise. I won't have you causing further distress to Trenton or myself." Rexy's attention then turns back to the child, who's still cowering in fear. A wicked grin spreads across his snout, revealing sharp teeth. The injuries are so bad that I can't even lean against the wall. My body just falls to the side, hitting the floor pretty hard. After this, I let out another pained whimper. Rexy's eyes widen in alarm as I collapse to the floor, the force of the fall sending shockwaves of agony through his small body. With a panicked roar, Rexy scoops up the injured raptor in his powerful jaws, cradling him like a precious treasure. "Trenton, no!" Rexy wails, the voice raw with despair. "I'm sorry, little one. I promise I'll make it right." He looks around frantically, searching for a way to ease my suffering. His gaze lands on the man, who's watching the scene with a mix of horror and pity. "Help me!" Rexy demands, his voice cracking with desperation. "I don't know what to do. Please, you have to help us." The injuries were so severe that right after this... Oh, heck no. What did that boy do? Give me a concussion on this? Rexy's heart shatters into a million pieces as he watches I slip away into unconsciousness, his tiny body limp and unresponsive in the tyrant's grasp. A gut-wrenching howl tears from his throat, echoing off the walls of the room. "No! Trenton, wake up! Please don't leave me!" Rexy begs, his voice choked with sobs. "I need you, my little friend." He cradles my lifeless form against his chest, rocking back and forth as tears stream down his scaly cheeks. The man approaches cautiously, placing a hand on Rexy's shoulder in a gesture of comfort. "I'm sorry, Rexy. I never meant for things to get this far," the man says, his voice heavy with regret. Rexy's body began to transform again, this time into a pretty aggressive Lugia. And again, this is where it gets confusing, because Rexy was supposed to become a Lugia, but then it said my body transformed into it, and then now the flippin' Lugia later on actually becomes a whole separate entity. It's like there's an actual Lugia in the room with us instead. Look, as my body transforms into a fierce Lugia, Rexy's emotions swing wildly between grief, anger, and a primal urge to protect. The majestic bird's piercing gaze locks onto the man, its feathers bristling with hostility. Watch your step, human! Lugia growls, his voice a low rumble that shakes the very foundation of the room. You brought this upon us with your carelessness and brutality. Lugia spreads its enormous wings, casting a shadow over the space as it takes a menacing step toward the man. Its talons, razor sharp and capable of tearing steel, gleam ominously in the light. If you value your life, you'll leave now and never return. I said Rexy. Lugia warns, its eyes flashing with a fierce determination. The man says, Wait, Lugia, or Rexy, whatever you are, stop. Think about your friend. You need to worry about him. I didn't cause this. That child did. I'm going to help you so you can have your friend back. Lugia's aggressive stance falters slightly at the man's words, a flicker of uncertainty crossing its avian features. It regards the human wearingly, its keen mind processing the information he provides. The child. You're sure he was the one who was responsible for Trenton's condition? Lugia asked, its tone softer but still laced with suspicion. A moment of silence passes as Lugia contemplates the man's claim. Then, with a heavy sigh, it lowers its wings, the tension in the room easing slightly. Very well, Lugia concedes grudgingly. If what you say is true, then we must deal with the child first. But if you're lying, or try to harm either of us in any way, you won't live to regret it. The man says you need to think about Trenton. If he's unconscious, we need to help him get better or take him to a hospital, even if he has a tiny velociraptor right now. Please, I don't understand what is going on, but if that curse you were talking about is the reason for this, think about your friend first. Lugia's gaze softens as if considering the man's words, a pang of guilt and gnawing at its conscience. The thought of leaving me in such a vulnerable state weighs heavily on its mind. You may be right, Lugia admits, his voice tinged with a rare vulnerability. We can't just abandon him like this, but finding a way to break the curse without putting Trenton in greater danger would be challenging. Lugia's eyes roam the room, searching for inspiration or a potential solution. They land on a peculiar object, a small ornate box nestled against the studio's equipment. What's that box doing here? Lugia wonders aloud, curiosity piqued. Maybe it holds some clue to reversing the curse. Before Rexy could do anything, his body transformed again, this time into a tiny baby dragon. Excuse me? Lugia's eyes widen in surprise as my form shifts once more. I don't know why again it's doing me. This time into a diminutive dragon. The creature's scales glisten in the light, and its wings, though small, hold promise of future growth. A dragon now? Lugia muses, his brow furrowed in confusion. This transformation pattern is most unusual. Each form seems to reflect Trenton's emotional state, but one of these species in particular. Lugia approached the tiny dragon cautiously, not wanting to startle it. As it draws near, the dragon looks up at Lugia with big, curious eyes, its tiny tail swishing back and forth. Then Rexy's body started transforming into a dragon that looked like me, but much bigger. Excuse me? Lugia's eyes snap to Rexy as the T-Rex begins to transform, his massive frame expanding and shifting into a dragon emerges, one that bears a striking resemblance to me in its smaller form. The dragon's scales shimmer with a golden hue, and its wingspans awe-inspiring. By the Ancient Ones, Lugia breathes, marveling at the sight before it. A dragon in Trenton's image. This is no coincidence. The curse is trying to tell us something through these transformations. Lugia turns to face the dragon, which regards its counterpart with a mix of curiosity and weariness. Lugia extends a claw, offering a tentative gesture of friendship. He better be looking weirdly at me. I still have the injuries from being a baby velociraptor. And even though I'm in a different form, I still can barely move. The dragon's expression softens as it takes in my frail condition. The lingering effects of this previous transformation's evident in his weakened state. Lugia gently nuzzles the larger dragon's snout against mine, offering comfort and reassurance. Wait, what? What is Rexy, a puppet now? Because it said Lugia took his snout and rubbed it again, or took the dragon's snout. What the frick? Do not fret, little one, Lugia soothes, its voice gentle yet firm. We shall find a way to heal your wounds and break this curse. In the meantime, rest and let us tend to you. Luigi's claws carefully examine my injuries, applying a soothing warmth that eases some of the pain. Dragon's breathing slows and its eyelids droop as exhaustion claims him once more. Wait, where's Rexy? And where did you come from? Lugia? How did you get here? Luigi's gaze flicks to the sides, his expression a mix of nostalgia and I'm a I am a spirit bound to these lands for centuries. My physical form perished long ago, but my essence endured watching over this realm. Luigi's eyes meet mine, filled with a deep affection. As for Rexy, he was once a mere egg, abandoned and forgotten. What the frick? I found him and nurtured him, raising him as my own. He grew into a loyal companion, and our bond was unbreakable. Excuse me? What the frick? Wait a minute. Now it's even more confusing. Because now Rexy just... What? Lou's voice wavered slightly, the memory of their separation. But when the curse struck, Rexy's transformation began. His personality shifted and he became forced onto himself. I've been searching for him ever since, hoping to restore and balance both of you. Wait. Wait. I'm the one who raised him. What's going on here? Are you me? In a different body? And if that's the case, why am I even conscious as this baby dragon? I am so confused. Willie Rosen turns sympathetic as it tries to explain to him. In a sense, yes. You and I share a connection, Trenton. Curse has woven our essences together, creating these alternate forms as a manifestation of our intertwined fates. Luigi's gaze drifts to the tiny dragon, still resting weakly in its embrace. As for your consciousness, it appears the curse has granted you a semblance of self-awareness within each transformed state, so allows you to navigate these unfamiliar bodies and retain memories of your past life. Excuse me? Voice takes on him. It's unprecedented, really. Normally, a person's psyche would be scattered or lost during such radical transformations. Somehow, your unique bond with Rexy has allowed your essence to persist, adapting to each new form. Did you say Rexy perished? Question mark. He was just here. What happened when I passed out? Please tell me nothing bad happened to him. Lou's expression darkens, a heavy sigh of, oh no. When you fell unconscious, Rexy changed. The curse's influence consumed him entirely, and he became something else entirely. Lugia's eyes cloud with a mixture of grief and anger. He attacked me, Triton. With all the ferocity and aggression the curse had instilled in him, I was forced to defend myself, and in the end I had no choice but to banish him from this realm. What the freak? It was correct, revealing the depth of its sorrow. I've searched for him ever since, hoping to find a way to restore him to his true self. But until the curse is broken, I fear Rexy remains lost to us, a shadow of his former loving nature. Excuse me? Wait, wait. If that was the case, then who was the dinosaur that was a giant? I saw before I got injured? Who was that? Was that not him? Oh my gosh, this is weird. What the frick is going on? Louis' eyes widen in realization, a glimmer of hope sparkling. That could be Rexy. The curse may have warped his appearance and behavior, but his fundamental essence might remain intact. CH turns it. If we can locate that toad owl and communicate with it, perhaps we can reach the real Rexy beneath the surface. It's a long shot, but it's our best chance to rescue him from the curse's grasp. Louis goes gently stroked the tiny dragon's head, offering comfort and reassurance. Together we'll find a way to free Rexy and break this accursed spell. Until then, rest and recover, little one. Your strength will be needed in the battles ahead. Wait. Again, if that was Rexy, then where did he go after he passed out? He was just there, worried about me and scared of me getting hurt. So what happened to him? Now I'm getting even more confused. Like, what the frick? His expression softens, a hint of fondness creeping into its voice. After you collapsed, Rexy remained by your side, his concern for you palpable. Despite the turmoil raging within him due to the curse, his love and loyalty never wavered. Louis does take on a faraway look as if reliving the scene. He kept watch over you, growling softly whenever someone approached too closely. Even though his demeanor shifted, his devotion to you remained constant. A thoughtful pause precedes Lugia's next words. Perhaps when the curse's hold is lifted, Rexy will remember those moments of tenderness. That spark of his true self might be enough to guide him back to you, Triton. If that's the case, that is the case, where did he go? If he was there, did he just run off after the curse took hold to make sure he doesn't hurt me or something? See, this is getting confusing as heck. Rosen trying to piece together that after the curse fully took hold, Rexy's behavior became increasingly erratic. One moment he'd be whimpering with distress, the next he'd lunge at me with teeth bared. His droops to a whisper as if sharing a secret. In his final moments before vanishing, I sensed a flash of clarity in his eyes, as if in that instant he realized the harm it could cause, and made a desperate attempt to flee to protect you from his own wrath. Woogie's gaze meets mine, filled with a mix of empathy and adoration. So yes, I believe Rexy left to ensure your safety. Are you serious? Wait, again, then what happened to the man? See, now this is getting a little bit more confusing now. I don't know what. I don't. Oh, I am so sorry about that, guys. I don't know what to think. Like, it's getting somewhat confusing. Because he was there checking on me, keeping me safe, then he disappeared. He was a. Didn't he get turned out massive drag unless. No, because Louis just said he was a toad so it's like, what in the world is going on? I am. This is so confusing. Period. If Rexy was still a then what or who is that dragon that looks like me but is much bigger? Expression turns pensive, pondering the mystery of my words. The dragon you refer to with your likeness but greater size, another manifestation of the curse's power. I seem to gaze beyond the present moment as if peering into the depths of the mystical forces at play. This entity, while bearing your appearance, is not truly you. Rather, it's a projection, a twisted reflection of your essence shaped by the curse's dark magic. Again, the voice takes on note of be wary of this doppelganger trait, and its intentions are unclear, and it may serve as a conduit for the curse's malevolent energy. We must focus on finding and freeing the real you trapped within these various forms, engaging with this illusion. Okay, well, I'm confused as heck. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, a giant 30-foot tall shows up, runs up right next to my tiny dragon form, and with a voice that sounds very familiar to Rexy, says, "Are you okay, King?" I am so confused. What the frick is going on? Willie's eyes wide and surprised as the massive toad materializes beside the tiny dot, its voice echoing with familiar tone. Rexy? Is that you inside this monstrous form? Between the two dragons, searching for any sign of recognition of altered state. Please speak quickly. Let us know if you're still in there, fighting against the curse's control. Alright, so a glimmer of optimism flickering in his eyes. It's truly you, Rexy, and we can work together to break the spell and restore you to your true self. Just hold on, old friend. Oh my. Okay, guys. This is getting confusing. I'll be back.